There is a lot to talk about for Planet Zoo 2 this week. We have 8 new Zoopedia entries, a feature focus dedicated entirely to zoo creativity, with some pretty exciting reveals hidden throughout, and of course, the mystery animal of the week. Starting with the Zoopedia, this week's entries gave us a nice mix of new reveals and familiar faces. We have the Bozeman's rainbow fish, the eastern brown snake, the Galapagos giant tortoise, the Malayan tapir, the Mexican red knee, the mountain hare, the blue tang, and the western lowland gorilla. I'm really happy to see the Galapagos giant tortoise return, and the western lowland gorilla is especially exciting for me because of some of my previous Planet Zoo projects. But as exciting as these species are, the real star this week is the feature focus, and there are a lot of little details hidden in it. Let's watch it together, and then we'll go back through and cover some things you might have missed.
Hey there! We've been round a bunch of different zoos together, and as you can see, just like our animals, they come in all shapes and sizes. So, let's take a look at how they're built and how you can let your creativity soar. We're here to expand on this gorgeous zoo. To get around the new area, our staff and guests need paths. And we've got plenty to choose from. Create fun spaces to inspire and educate your guests, or expansive plazas for them to dine in. As you build your zoos, you might want to tailor them to certain themes. Our scenery takes inspiration from all over the world. Go bold with bright colors, or keep it feeling natural. You can choose from a range of our handy blueprints, or go ahead and build from the ground up. You can even share your finished designs with zookeepers around the world. Plus, you can browse and place blueprints from other talented zookeepers, like this stunning habitat. And I have just the residents to move in. Looks like Keely and her siblings are very happy here. I could watch our mountain hares all day, but we've got more work to do. Our tools enable you to sculpt the landscape with ease, to create tranquil lakes or choppy, winding rivers, or even a mountain, perfect for our mountain hares. You'll also be able to work with rockery and foliage, creating intricate designs or establishing an entire forest in an instant. And as the seasons change, so will that environment. All of this comes together to create an amazing experience for your guests, an efficient workplace for your staff, and most importantly, the perfect home for your animals. But our work expands beyond just our zoos. Next time, we'll be exploring much further afield. Until then, see you soon, zookeepers.
As you guys probably already know, I am a builder at heart. Most of my hours in Planet Zoo are spent with the game paused, so a feature focus entirely about building was basically made for me. Right from the opening shot, the gorillas look superb. I especially love how easily you can distinguish the male from the female. But look beyond the gorillas for a second. There are 5 different structures visible in this one shot, and every single one looks completely different. I think this gives us a fantastic idea of just how much freedom we're going to have when building our zoos. The African Safari Zoo gives us even more to look at. We have decals being used for wall designs. Look at these cute little ones above the door, and even these little lights built into the pathway. The scaling and verticality potential in Planet Zoo 2 is incredible. And, of course, we have to take a second to appreciate the giant tortoise. But what exactly is that in the background? That looks suspiciously like some sort of monorail track to me, and it isn't the only time we'll be seeing something like it throughout the demonstration. In the next clip, we've got these massive rock structures covered in foliage, a beautiful view of the tortoise habitat, and this raised viewing platform that almost looks like it might overlook an aquarium. I'm not completely sure what we're seeing there, but I love that the staff huts are sitting right there in plain view. That's going to make planning our zoos so much easier. Then we get to something that made me audibly gasp: stairs and underwater tunnels. I love that there's an entire network of tunnels connecting these aquariums together. But that's not actually my favorite part of this shot. Look inside that distant aquarium. Those are burrows. Not one, but two. Now, this does not technically confirm that we'll be able to create mixed aquatic and terrestrial habitats, but that certainly feels like a pretty strong indicator. Okay, pause. Look at that beauty. With this bald eagle statue being shown off, I think it's pretty safe to assume we're getting bald eagles in the base game. But once again, look in the background. There's that rail system. I'm feeling more and more confident that we're looking at some kind of monorail or transport ride. From there, we get another look at the new pathing system. I won't spend too long on this because I've already talked about it in previous videos, but I cannot wait to get my hands on this. The amount of creative freedom this system should give builders is insane. We already knew about a few new guest interaction spots, like the photo spot, but it's fun seeing even more of them here. I'm still really hoping we eventually get things like playgrounds or splash zones for children. I'd even love to see kids have some sort of fun need that we need to satisfy throughout the zoo. Then we get some absolutely ridiculous examples of what these new building tools can do. There's this gorgeous centerpiece, but look at everything surrounding it. The hanging lanterns, the roof designs, support pieces, decorative flower pots, and even these tiny bird figures along the side. Over here, we've got a hornbill and owl banner hanging in the background. I already know the workshop is going to be filled with some absolutely incredible builds. And here's another example. Look at the awnings in the background, or this trinket shop with hanging masks and stuffies tucked in the corner. There are even photos decorating the walls. Wait, is that a sea lion in that picture? Maybe I'm being blinded by optimism, but that sure looks like one to me. Even the simpler architecture looks fantastic. I love this fish statue in the corner, and the glasswork on these buildings, and look at the flooring here. Being able to place these kinds of designs and decals directly onto the ground opens up so many possibilities. Planet Zoo 2 is going to have me studying actual architecture for my builds. Now, let's pause on the color editor for just a second. I didn't spot any new animals hiding in the scenery menu, but I did notice this. 1,898 scenery items. That's incredible. And the plant menu isn't exactly small either. This screenshot shows 720 plant items in this section alone, along with some really nice sorting options for foliage. I especially like that fungi icon, and I think it's adorable. It looks like the UI bar has been updated as well, now displaying the season, weather, and year. Something else I'm incredibly excited about is having the Steam Workshop integrated directly into Planet Zoo 2. With builds like these possible, I cannot wait to see what everyone creates. And speaking of little details, what kind of fish is that? Could that possibly be the much requested salmon finally making an appearance? Looking at the workshop page itself gives us a few more interesting details. First, it appears blueprints can include pathways, as we can see in this aquarium blueprint. I really want to know what this boat is all about too. In the next scene, we get a few other blueprint examples, including this bridge, some kayaks or canoes, and even buses. The mountain hare makes another appearance, giving us a much better look at the species and confirming that it is indeed a walk-through habitat animal. Its habitat gives us a great demonstration of the improved sculpting tools too. I love that we're getting different water textures. Rivers can finally look like they're actually flowing instead of just being long, oddly shaped pools. This is our first really good look at the stamp tool as well, which appears to have received a pretty significant upgrade. It even looks like we'll have preset landscape stamps that we can quickly sculpt terrain with, which makes me wonder, could we eventually create and save our own landscape stamps? Then there are the new pebble and rock options. I was recently touching up an old exhibit in Planet Zoo 1, and not having rocks like these, or being able to properly scale them, made getting the look I wanted surprisingly difficult. Here, there are 190 nature items appearing under the search term rock, and from what I can tell, it looks like all of these can be recolored. Planet Zoo 2 is officially going to rock our world. Next, we get a much better look at the foliage brush in action. I like that we can control whether the brush covers paths or scenery objects. What I'm really curious about is how much control we'll have over the plants themselves. Can we select exactly which species appear? Is it based on the environment or biome? Can we create our own mixtures? And while we're looking at the foliage, yeah, that's definitely a railroad track back there. At this point, I think we can safely say transport rides are coming back. The changing seasons get a proper showcase here, with foliage blooming and changing colors depending on the time of year. One thing I've been wondering about is whether bodies of water can freeze during winter. It's difficult to tell here. That pond in the background almost looks like it freezes over, but it could just as easily be the lighting. And finally, we get a much better look at the bears. I'm assuming these are Eurasian brown bears, and we see them both inside the zoo and out in the wildlife reserve. What really caught my attention though is the implication that we'll need researchers, and potentially keepers, working out in the reserves to monitor and manage the natural environment. There's this huge structure in the background too. Is that for staff? Guests? Some kind of medical or wildlife management facility? I have absolutely no idea, and I'm very curious to find out. And Frontier wrapped up the week with another mystery animal teaser. I haven't successfully guessed a single one of these yet, and I don't think this week is going to break that streak. My first thought was some kind of diving bird or maybe a bird of prey, but I could also kind of see this being a pangolin. It's difficult to tell whether we're looking at feathers or some kind of bumpy, scaled skin. We did see all of those bald eagle items scattered throughout the feature focus. So, what do you guys think? Is this our bald eagle, a pangolin, or something completely different? Next week should be a big one, with Frontier participating in the Xbox Gamecom's broadcast, so I'm hoping we'll have even more Planet Zoo 2 news to dig into. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Planet Zoo 2 news, updates, and content so you don't miss anything exciting as we get closer and closer to the release. Until next time, bye-bye!